Call this council public hearing to order Wednesday, October 6th. It is 6:30 p.m. The topic is sale of the following city-owned properties, tax account number 28292, map number 4N1W04-BD-04305, block 100, lot 6, St. Helens, 5,800 square foot lot located on South 12th Street. The other is a tax account number 28878, map number 4N1W04-BA-01200, block 83, lot 4, St. Helens, 11,600 square foot lot located on South 10th Street. For public comment.
I'd like to stop the operation right now. On September 15th, we sold that property and it was voted on by the council that it was sold and signed off by the mayor. Are we selling that property again? Because this is the announcement, according to the ORS business, of how you sell property. This is now would be the first public announcement that this property is for sale. We've already sold it. Did we get it back?
We authorized the sale of the property, and this is following up on one of the required elements of having a public hearing. They're just spread apart over.
The way I've gotten it explained to me is before you offer it to the public, you have the ORS and you read it as we're trying to do today. But we already went to a resolution and sold it. In fact, it was signed off. I really think we need a legal definition. Are we selling it the second time? Because this says we're offering it for sale after we sold it. I question the timing. I brought that up last week and I was told that since I didn't have the ORS in hand, it meant nothing. I have the ORS in hand today. What are we doing?
So there's, the property has not transacted.
What was the signature? Because that it basically publicly ended the sale because everybody who was listening heard us sell the property. And we have numbers and all of that, and we voted on it.
Yeah, the ORS there's some required elements in there, determination of value,
You know,
opportunity for public comment.
and all that was supposed to be for, it was sold in the signature of the mayor last meeting on the September 15th would have been the signing of the sale. This is the way it's supposed to have been done, but it's supposed to have been done ahead of selling the property. That's the question. Well, this is what we're supposed to do, but it's supposed to be done before it was sold. What was the operation last?
That's, oh, the other piece of that is the declaring the property surplus. There's another required
No,
element.
that, yes, and that was done a number of months ago. I think back in July or someplace like that, where Matt was finding out whether anybody wanted to buy it. And in fact, I think the Habitat for Humanity inquired if we would sell it to them at a reduced price. And I think at that point, the definition of surplus property, we're interested in selling it. This thing today is the first official designation that the property for sale, but last September 15th, we sold it. In fact, I voted nay on it. The rest of the council voted yay. The mayor said since I did not have the exact ORS number, it meant nothing. That's the question I'm asking. I think we have a problem because the public is going to assume that resolution for sale, the end of the process. In fact, in the newspaper, it says we tried to sell it a couple other ways, which is good, but we have to only sell it after we make a resolution, which is what we're doing today, that it's for sale, and we haven't done that. So we have a question of timing.
So if there's any comfort, the attorney has led all of this work. He recognized the error on the first go around. He went back, made this correction.
Well, then we have to,
And have a vote.
then,
Can I listen to what he's saying? Thank you.
I believe we're,
well, the council has got to be told publicly that we made a mistake, we have to accept the mistake, then we do it again, and we're not doing that, we're just going ahead. That's what I'm saying. And everybody voted illegally. I've gone to some lawyers and people like that, that the timing is to be critical on the sale of property. And this is the first time that we're announcing that it's for sale. We've already sold it. This is what you would have to do after this is done, but that isn't what happened in actual time.
Doesn't there have to be a transaction for the selling of a property?
That was the signature of the mayor. That's what he said. I remember we had yeas and nays. If you read the minutes, it was voted on and Topaz voted nay. The rest of the council voted yay. And in fact, the mayor said he didn't really believe Topaz on the ORS. But here's the ORS that we know.
No. I know exactly what I said. I said, you have obviously done your homework. If you do not have the ORS available, then why ask you why you did not bring that with us, because you had done your homework. And what I remember this council saying last meeting was that we would pass the resolution as far as John working with our city attorney to see if Councilor Topaz was correct on it. And that was the vote on the resolution. It's on video. It is on video. And so what you're saying, you know, you want to start getting into this nitpicking, and we're just trying to sell a chunk of property, derelict property to the city that is no use to the citizens, to a couple families. And our attorneys have looked it over. I heard our city administrator, John Walsh, say the attorney said that this justifies cleaning it up and not to justify the sale.
Okay, I totally agree that the property, so that's not my problem. I'm talking about the exact
One more thing.
timing.
One more thing, Councilor Topaz, is you had the city attorney available earlier. Why didn't you utilize him? Because you did ask him a personal question about his sign up on his door.
That is correct.
And I know you've had that information for quite some time.
That is correct.
So why didn't you ask this?
But you did it wrong. This land tracks act is exact timing. Not, well, we should have done it, we're gonna do it today to make it legal.
Councilor
That
Topaz,
doesn't
if
count.
you made a mistake, it still makes, why are you bringing it to this extreme to a bombshell when you could have asked the attorney earlier, if that's the case?
I did ask other attorneys, and I have a problem with this attorney since it might have been misinterpreted to keep the city moving. So that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm being very specific on exact timing according to the ORS. And what we're supposed to do today, we did not make this is what the properties were, this is its location, this is all the details, this is the appraisal, that's supposed to be done today. After that is done, then the property can be sold. But we sold the property with this resolution, 1934 and 1935, we sold it last council meeting. I'm trying to figure out how we legally correct it, because we've already sold it. How do we have to state ahead of time now that this is something and then we're doing it over again.
Our attorney, according to John Walsh, said this will justify.
yeah, it's. It matters. I mean, the lack of people here is maybe one indication of the public interest in the property, but the resolutions that we pass, we could pass again, or we could.
You can negate it, do this, and then pass it. But, well, you've already sold the property. And you would say with, last week, you sold the property illegally.
Actually selling it, as the property not transacted yet.
So I'm definitely not.
If the buyers walked away at this point?
I'm worried about other buyers that said, hey, I would have liked to jump in, but you've already sold it because I listened to the meeting and
Well,
we had that
So
resolution.
there's a couple things that you said that were wrong, and we did put it out for, we did notify the public of it, and what you referenced about Matt Brown was completely wrong. That was actually, we reached out to 2 nonprofits to see if there was any interest, and it was ridiculous what they came back with. One came back with.
I agree with
If you
that.
recall the history, and I think everybody sat through on that. So part of what you're saying is true and part of it is erroneous, and you're just trying to make us all look bad. And this really is frustrating because you did have this information, knowing it in your mind, and you had the city's.
Okay, I told you about the
at your
ORS too.
fingertips at up till 3:30 today. From 1:30 to 3, from 1 to 3:30, you had the city's attorney's attention. At any point in time that you had a question on that, and you decided to bring it to this evening session, and then you also brought Matt Brown into it, which is not okay in my opinion, because that's again another belittlement of trying to make somebody look incompetent, and that's what you're trying to make us all look like. And you continue to do this, and we're trying to move the city forward, and you never want to be a team player, because you would have brought it up earlier and said.
I
"Hey,
brought it up
I
earlier,
just need to
September
clarify
15th.
that." Go ahead, Counselor.
So yes, Counselor Topaz, you brought it up, September 15th. I'm looking at the minutes that we are to approve tonight. Counselor Topaz read in the ORS that there needs to be a public hearing. City Administrator Walsh reported that resolutions were prepared by legal counsel. He can confirm with them. And I'm not reading everything here. Discussion of the process, Mayor Scholl suggested we go ahead and approve it. We can check with council and bring it back to the next council meeting if needed. Council Topaz wants to make sure they follow the correct procedure. Council Morton asked for Councilor Topaz to present the appropriate ORS, which you have done tonight. Councilor Chilton appreciates your bringing this to our attention and trusts that Walsh will check with legal counsel and bring the information back to council. And added that it does not require a resolution, but it's good to do one for the permanent record. So what I've heard tonight is that Administrator Walsh consulted with legal counsel and legal counsel presented a solution to go forward. And I also,
Correct?
this is the public
No,
hearing.
I'm talking about, prior to this, the council did not publicly say that it was okay. He told John that it's okay.
Point of order.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to
Okay, keep
say what I
going.
have to say, please uninterrupt. I'm trying not to get, trying to say what I hear. So I believe that those conditions were met, that information is being presented to us at the next meeting, this public hearing. It's not our next regular session, but it is a public hearing. And also the fact that this was public notice given for this public hearing, and as Administrator Walsh noted, unless there is because the mayor asked for public comment first, and that was interrupted. Is there any, I'd like to know if there's anybody here for public comment.
Sure.
If not, so people have been given the opportunity. It seems not to be an issue, and that in my mind, we can move forward. We can address the issues to my satisfaction for both legality.
Thank you for the calming voice and the reading of the minutes, Councilor Berkeley. Thank you. Yes.
I definitely want to bring this up.
Point of order. Again, I did have it under public comment. He's right. Didn't have it. We always have a chance. Is there any public comment on the sale of these properties? Legal descriptions I've already read, but located on South 12th Street and South 10th Street.
You did not read the,
I did read the legal description.
and the appraisal, that's part of the That's part of the legal description according to the ORS.
Determination of value or appraisal, yes. And there's, in this instance, we didn't rely on a third-party appraisal. We went with the broker's opinion, put it on the open market to the public. There were several bids. We took the highest bid.
My point is, we can't put it on the market until we go through what we're supposed to be going through tonight. That's my point. I'm talking about the correct steps in time, not adjusting it.
Why can't we adjust?
That's the ORS, sorry.
What is your solution?
I really don't know, because the fact that we sold it and signed it off last week, there's gotta be a legal way to quote, unsell it. Public, we gotta tell the public that we made a mistake. This is what we have to do to correct it, and one of the correction things is to bring this up now.
It was not legally
That's
sold,
what you said.
Authorized
It's
the
been
sale.
not sold.
authorized to
So
sell.
we could reauthorize this at tonight's
But
meeting.
you can't authorize it for sale until after this is done.
We're doing it right now.
If you want us to
You
reauthorize it again tonight?
authorized it before, you're gonna reauthorize it again, because it sounds like you're selling it twice.
It's the same owner.
How's it-
I know what it is.
You're making this a mountain, a
Molehill out of mountain.
Yeah,
It's a mountain out of a molehill.
yeah.
But, you know, we have a timing sequence that should have been done cleanly and it wasn't. That's what I'm pointing out. We should have gotten rid of the property earlier. That's not what I'm worried about.
So your point is that you're just pointing this out. And how would you suggest we fix it? Okay, so we made a mistake.
Okay.
The council made a mistake.
Okay, and say that, we made a mistake, and this is how we're doing. We're correcting the mistake, we're now going to the exact procedure and doing it, okay?
Counselor Topaz, we made a mistake.
You gotta tell the public, I know you made a mistake September 15th, so that's not a surprise.
Yeah, okay, public, we made a mistake and Counselor Topaz actually had all the information at his hands and failed to bring it to us, because we serve you, and held it tight to his chest. And then again, when we tried to amend through our legal right here, he said that procedurally we're doing it wrong, which we've checked with legal. And he had the opportunity to talk to the same legal that represents all of us. And we made a mistake 2 weeks ago, and legal says this is the correct, and this will satisfy them in order to protect us, you as citizens, and this will justify. So Counselor Topaz was right. Bottom line, he was right. Other thing is he held it to his chest and never tried to confirm or work with anybody here.
The ORS is a public
There you go.
document,
There you go.
Kathy has it, I know, but thank you for doing it, that's what I needed to have done. But the ORS is a public document and can easily be pulled up.
So I also would like to state that I do not approve of you bringing Matt Brown into this and belittling him and making him look incompetent, that he's running rogue, trying to sell property a year ago, because that's what you said earlier.
That's correct, and he did, no, what he did was right.
No.
No, what he did was right.
That was under the direction of the council to check
That's
the
correct.
nonprofits. But the way you made it sound earlier was totally not that.
No, that isn't what I said. He had the ability to try to find out if there was saleable property.
Okay,
And that
so
means he has to talk to people.
Counselor Topaz, have I justified? what
So
you
far,
were
yes.
doing?
That's what I came
Okay.
to make sure we
Can I-
did.
Are you okay with me closing this public?
Yes, I am.
hearing? Please close.